So welcome you all to the Vibe Coding um, masterclass, and this is the onboarding session. So basically, we're going to try to help you understand everything about Vibe Coding and how the whole 4 weeks is going to be. Okay, so to start with, has any one of us here heard about Vibe Coding before? Have you tried anything on Vibe Coding or tried to build something on your own? Anyone? Daniel? Okay. Oh, ah, this is amazing. Everyone, that's good. That's good. That's good. Oh, okay. Can we just I want everyone to actually speak up. Like, okay, so each and every one of us, just tell me what you have been able to do so far with Vibe Coding. Anything at all. You can just unmute yourself and just tell me quickly. Yeah.
Hello,
Yeah.
good afternoon.
Yeah. Good afternoon, sir.
So, on Vibe Coding, I've been able to build a lot of apps.
Okay.
Like recently, I built a license and management system. That
That's
means
amazing.
something that can manage the license of some products.
Yeah.
So I built and I used this new uh, gravity, auto gravity, or what is
Okay.
it?
Anti-gravity.
Anti-gravity. So I use for that one.
Okay.
And also I use Lovable to build
Okay.
an e-commerce website,
Okay.
but not yet complete, yeah. But I'm still building on
Okay.
building it.
That's amazing. Are you using the internal database or are you using Superbase?
Superbase, I'm using Superbase.
Okay, that's good. That's good. I mean, you're already doing a whole lot yourself. So, what are your challenges currently?
I didn't get you.
What are your challenges currently in building? What are your current challenges?
And the challenge that I'm facing now is sometimes I don't know whether it is my prompts. It's not really giving me what I what I really want. That means the way I want the app to be. It will
Okay.
just once I say okay, anybody can just put a prompt and then it builds a website, but not what we desire. So I'm just on how to create a prompt and put the exact needed prompt
Okay.
that
Okay.
will build the exact app
Okay.
I'm looking for.
So you basically want to be in control and specify what you want, and it comes out the way you want it, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Does your own hallucinate? Like sometimes it changes what you have been building and does something else.
And sometimes I do that.
Okay, no problem. So any other person? So we had a lot of hands. So who else has done something on AI vibe coding? Okay, gift. Okay, gift. You can go first. Then
Okay.
Florence. Yeah,
Good evening, everyone.
yeah. Good evening.
Okay, so I think last year I participated in an hackathon
Okay,
where we used Dreamspace to build the apps, and I think we had to like prompt it then build the app. But okay, also
yeah. Okay, you can go ahead. Um, can anyone else hear me?
I can hear you. Can you
Yes, I
hear me?
can.
Okay, I think it's her network. Okay. Okay, Florence, you can go ahead. Maybe when she comes back, she can continue.
Good evening, everyone.
Yeah, good
I've
evening.
used Lovable. I think it's my first vibe coding app.
Okay.
I created a an e-commerce, like you order something, the payment. It was exciting though. They have some credit limit, but
Yeah,
it was
yeah, yeah.
exciting. It was a great experience.
Okay. Okay, so basically, you built an e-commerce store and you could order something and check out complete end to end, right?
Yes, I'm actually a product designer. So like I wanted to explore and visualize the product, like see how it will work. Like that was the reason I
Okay,
tried it on
okay,
Lovable.
okay. That's amazing. That's amazing. So, I love that. So, okay, that's the only one you've done so far, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's good. That's good. So, Reginald, you can go next.
Alright. Um, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, so I've used Lovable. I built my hospital website
Okay.
with Lovable. Um, I just I told I used I think Gemini or ChatGPT, I can't remember. I told it what I wanted and told it to. I broke it down into step by step, focusing on the landing page, creating a prompt, and then gave it visuals of what I would like the website to look like and colors I
Okay.
wanted it to use,
Okay.
as well as functionalities. It gave me the prompt for each step, and then I just moved that to Lovable. Then it generated exactly what I wanted,
Okay. And it,
and
and
then
it's and it's functional end to end, right? Like everything, like inputs, they're all working fine, right?
yes, everything is working fine. I just haven't linked the backend yet
Okay.
to it, but so far I've worked on the front end and everything's working well.
Okay, that's fantastic. Okay, so the challenges you have, what challenges are you currently having with that, with your builds?
My challenge, can I go?
Yeah, you can go.
The challenge I just have right now is the backend. I'm not really good at backend, so I know they say they use Supabase, so I'm trying to figure out how to use Supabase to get the backend to work. But that's the only challenge I've had so far.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so what you built is a hospital management app, or is it like a website?
No, a website.
Okay.
But I wanted functionalities where you could have user accounts, admins, and then payment through it, like donations and the rest.
Okay. 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 That's good. That's good. And Florence, I was going to ask you, what were your challenges, or what challenges are you currently having?
My challenge is like I know about design and all, but I don't know about coding. So sometimes when they ask me, something like allow, I will just allow anything
Okay.
and just go about it. Like I
Okay.
don't know any technicalities and all.
Okay. And you said,
Aside that was it.
yeah. Okay. So, and you said you built what?
An e-commerce ordering
Okay,
app.
e-commerce. Okay, that's good. Is there any other person that wants to say something, or you built something?
Come again.
Yeah. So I mean, is there any other person here that has built something with Vibe Code? You can raise your hand and talk. Any other person? Benjamin. Benjamin looks like a product designer. I don't know. Precious, have you built something?
No, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I'm new to this system. Oh, I've not done anything related
Okay,
to that
okay,
before.
okay, okay. Okay, that's good. So I will assume that there's not a person that has done anything vibe coding, right? So, but if there's someone else, you can always raise up your hand, right? So what we're going to do today is why I'm trying to figure out what challenges you've had is I know that some of us here have had some experiences while some are just starting off, you understand? So I'm just going to try and balance everybody out, and I'm going to literally touch up on the core points where people miss out on when it comes to saving credits, hallucinations of your AI, and stuff like that. Okay, and so at least everybody can be able to be carried along. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to run through the whole onboarding process, what we're going to be doing for the rest of the week. Okay, and I'm going to try and see if we can build apps subsequently just to try out things that we are talking about. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen right now to start the onboarding process. Entire screen share. So can everyone see my screen right now? Okay.
I can see the screen.
Yeah, okay. So good. So I'm going to be sharing this document with you guys as well. Okay. I'm going to put all the resources you need so you can always read through, and because everything I'm going to be able to cover up in the sessions, in the live sessions. So I'm also going to create videos for you guys on introduction to all the tools that we'll be using as well, or that you've already used, just an introduction. Okay, so when we're using it, you can actually understand what it's all about. So first of all, there's an introduction here. When I share the document, you can look at it. So the overview of what we're going to be doing for the whole week's phase one, we're going to be looking at transforming students from learners into builders who think as problem solvers, leveraging systems and outcomes. So basically, you're not just designing, you are a builder. Okay, you're trying to solve problem. Okay, once you try to create something of value, you are solving a problem. So you have to start thinking in that direction. Don't be thinking about, oh, I want to make money, even though every product has to make money, but be thinking about solving a problem first. That's the goal. Okay, so we'll walk through that in the first week, and building through intent, not syntax. As a creative technical partner, thinking in workflows, not screen. Human judgment versus machine execution. So always remember that AI is your assistant. Don't leave all the work for it. Also, you try to think and make sure that AI helps you structure. Okay, not do the thinking for you. So you think AI structures and plans. Okay. Then in the week 2, we're talking about prompting and spec design. So this is where we're going to get down with ideation, validation, research, and how to use the PRD. Okay, just understand that even when you are vibe coding, you have to use a design thinking process, which I'm going to explain also. You don't just enter and start vibe coding. You get a result, but will it function the way you want it to? Okay, even in vibe coding, you also use design systems so that your AI can know exactly what it's supposed to do, just like people do it in UI UX design. But now you are using code. AI is coding while you are directing the AI to do what it's supposed to do. So we'll be doing problem validation, ideation, structuring, defining product scope and constraints, writing user flows and feature logic, PRD writing, refining, debugging, and so on and so forth. Then week 3, we're going to be vibe coding. Okay, so now what we're doing here is, from the first week, that is today, everyone here is going to pick a product that they will deliver at the end of week 4. Okay, you will pick your own personal product. I'm going to tell you how you're going to do it. Okay, but that is like the main project, like maybe like a capstone project, like till the end of the 4th week, you deliver it to us. But subsequently within the week, we'll be also building little projects just to help us understand different aspects of vibe coding. So those ones you don't really need to deliver them. It's just your personal, for your own keep. So in the week 3, this is when you start vibe coding that particular project you picked. Okay, so you're generating interfaces, product aesthetics, structuring, iteration, saving credits. It's very important to know how to save credits, right? And because most of us want to use for free. Okay, so at least even if you have to pay, you pay and just finish up the project, but at least you'll be able to save credits if you want to. Then week 4, we're going to be looking at deployment, right? So basically how you deploy and things like that. Okay, so we'll not really go into the advanced mode. We'll just literally look at it in a way that so everybody can be carried along. How you can deploy and at least buy a domain name, things like that. So at least when somebody looks at your link, it has maybe .com or something like that. Or even if you want to use a generic domain from any either Lovable, Figma Make, or what else you have, Netlify, Vercel, and the rest of them, you can still use that. But at least you should know how to buy a domain name if you want to. So, and I'm also going to add in the phase 4 something that has to do with founder mode, that's what I call it. Thinking about marketing, competitive thinking, pricing, MVP definition, writing pitch decks as well. Because if you build an app, you might want to pitch it to somebody. You want to show it to somebody, you should have a pitch deck that is ready to go. Okay, so and there are structures of writing the pitch deck. So if, for example, you could meet anyone anywhere, you should have your pitch deck ready, have your elevator pitch, things like that. So I just added those ones at the end. Okay, and remember that for any app you build, you always have to keep validating, keep iterating on it in a cycle till it gets better. You know, people have to keep trying it and using it and things like that. So that's the curriculum. Now, when I share this document, you guys will have to go to this 4-week build. Can we still see my screen? Okay, that's good, okay, good. So this 4-week build is like your personal roadmap, right? I created it for you guys so you can just go through it and know what you're supposed to do. Okay, so you read this. When you read this, you understand what is there. You are not expected to be too technical or too smart on this. You are expected to follow this instruction, submit your work. You build one small thing that works. You will never be lost if you follow the steps. So if you just read through, then week 1, you pick a real problem. So this is trying to explain to you how you're going to pick the particular problem you want to solve. Okay, so you read through step 1. Where does the problem come from? Pick one option. So, and this is basically how I think about problems. So it could be my personal problem I'm trying to solve. It could be problem of someone else. It could be a problem I had of online. Okay, it could be something I went to go and actively look for. So something you struggle with again and again, something you've seen other people struggle with, something that feels slow, confusing, or broken. If you can't pick, choose the most annoying one. Okay, so you go through this, pick a problem that you know you want to solve, and this is a guide to help you write a problem story. Okay, use the sentence, whenever this happens, I feel this. I usually try to dash, but it doesn't really help. That's it. So just a guide to write your problem story. And you also answer this question: who has the problem? What do they do? Why do they care? Example, this is for students who study late at night and forget what they studied. That's an example of an app. Okay, so we're trying to solve problems with vibe coding, basically. I mean, you can decide to vibe code anything you want, anything you see online, but if it's not making an impact, it's just generic, like every other person. So you want to be able to tell the story behind what you are building. So, like I said, make sure it's not generic. Don't answer yes or no. So at the end of this week 1, what I'm expecting from you is this: a problem story, who it's for, why you care about it, and nothing else. You understand? So what you could do is you can create a Google Drive and put the document there. Okay? You're going to put the document there. That's your problem story. Write it in details and put the document there. I would tell you how to share your link, the link to the document, or I could just read it, or let's just be sure that you are documenting your progress as well. So every app you want to build, there should always be a story behind it. That is what, if you decide to sell that product, is a story that drives your product. See, forget about how fantastic the app is. Even if the app is not the best app in the whole world, that story is what will give it value, and that is the uniqueness. The story behind your app gives it value. Just like, I'm going to give you another example. If you go to where they are selling picture frame, maybe an art gallery, all those artworks are just on the wall. The value behind those artworks is the story behind them. When you find the person that created the artworks and they tell you the story, the value goes up. You now decide that you want to pay 2 million for the artwork. I never thought you would pay that amount or something. So the story is always very important. Okay, so in week 2, what I expect you to submit is a cognitive analysis. So, and the prompt generated from your ChatGPT. So you're going to use ChatGPT to brainstorm. Okay, so at the end of the whole brainstorming, you're going to generate a prompt. That prompt is what you're going to use to vibe code. Then you have to do a competitive analysis within that ChatGPT. This is how you try to know if who your competitors are in this app you are trying to build. You have to know them, do a SWOT analysis as well. So I'm going to add that there. You're going to do a SWOT analysis. And you don't need to go do it yourself. You could literally just tell ChatGPT to conduct a SWOT analysis for what you are doing. So that is after you have written a prompt about what you are building. Then you start and now say, ChatGPT, generate a competitive analysis on this, SWOT analysis, and so on and so forth. So this whole thing, you could also put in a document as well. Then there's something I always do. I call it an AI VC review. So while I'm trying to brainstorm an app, I try to know what it looks like if a VC is telling me about or trying to review my app. So you can use ChatGPT to do that as well. So you can do that, know where your loopholes are in the app that you are building, so you can fix them as well. Or you can decide not to even fix them, but at least you just know. Okay, if you feel that fixing it will get too complex or anything, but at least you know the problems. So even if you stand before a VC, you definitely know that, these are the possible problems that they will raise up. Okay, and as well within ChatGPT, you're going to do a secondary and primary research. All these things I'm going to show you guys how to do them. Okay, so it's not a difficult thing. So usually in UI UX design, it's always what we call secondary and primary research. You try to figure out if your product exists already, how it has been fixed, how the solution has been, how people have come about the solution within your range or globally. So that's what this is all about. Then you always need a PRD. A PRD is what defines what you are building. It structures your app. Once you use a PRD, your app will come out different. Your app will not be purple like all those generic apps. Okay? Because the PRD will define the structure, the aesthetics of your app completely, and define the stack, the tech stack to build it. So that's what makes this whole vibe coding different. So a lot of people vibe code just like that, but this is how I do mine. Okay, and there's also what they call a design system. You also need a design system. You just need to tell ChatGPT to generate one for you as well. Or there's also another way you could tell ChatGPT to use existing design systems to recreate a design system for you from an inspiration from one existing design system. And there's so many design systems available. You can just pick one. It's just for you to mention it inside ChatGPT. That's all. You don't need to go and carry it and bring it there. That's the power of ChatGPT. You just mention it. Use this design system for me to this. I need to create a design system for you. So that design system as well, you can copy it and paste in your Google Drive as well. Then the whole chat with ChatGPT, the link, also copy it out and keep it somewhere as well. So these are things, these are your deliverables of, this is week 2, this is what you've achieved, right? And for week 3, this is where you start building, basically. Start building that project. And week 4 is where you start sharing the project. You have to be able to explain what you built, give people to test, share it on social media, things like that. Share your story, add a story to it. I built this, for that. You show real people, final submission, then you submit your link and everything, right? So now here is how you're going to submit. I'm also going to share this to you guys. This is what I call is your personal track. So everything from week 1, this you'll be dropping them here. Okay? Week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, and final reflection. So this helps you track your progress. It's for you, it's not even for me. But you're going to share the link with me eventually when you are done. But I might not be keeping up with it, but it's for you guys to be able to be accountable for yourself that you are learning something, right? So after week 1, you come here, you mark that you joined the live session. Session 2, you joined, things like that. Even those links I told you to paste here and there, this is where you drop the links as well. Okay? There are gaps for each one. So even if you don't seem to find a space for a link, you create a cell, a column, a cell for yourself, and paste the link and write what it is. So I'll make this accessible to everybody. You just duplicate your own and also put it in your Google Drive. Okay, and this is how you'll be tracking what you are doing and so on and so forth. And there's a spot where it says share a post on social media about what you learned. So that's for the week. So you can also share what you learned for the week from the whole process. So this is basically the whole curriculum and all. So I don't know if there's any question before I move on to the next thing. Do you have any questions? Yes, the class is being recorded. Yeah, Daniel.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir.
Yeah.
So this is my question. What time will classes hold in within the week? Because you said that classes will be 3 times a week, and I'd like to know what time classes will be.
Yeah, so I'm going to drop a poll so that everybody will decide when is the best time. So the highest votes will be when the classes will hold. So I only just picked this time because of it's the first one, okay? Because I was not free in the morning at all. So how many times a week? I'm looking at 2 times a week or 3 times a week. So it might be 3 times a week, but because I'm trying to structure it in such a way that we can have this whole document where I'm putting resources for you, it might be 2 times a week, okay? But if I need to do it, make it 3 times a week, then I will. So I could still ask that as a poll between now and tomorrow, okay? So Reginald.
Yeah, how many hours?
So 1 hour at max. Is that enough for you guys?
Yes, it's enough for me.
Okay. Precious. Precious, you can talk.
So you said, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
You said that in what you were reading just now, I think the activity for the week, you said we will need to share our progress on maybe any social media.
Yeah.
Is it on social media or maybe to ourselves?
No, on social media, like any platform you like, it's just your own personal stuff, right? If you share, you tag tech buddy, okay? Just to share your progress and show what.
Yeah, cause
Yeah. Yeah, you were saying
Because
something.
I read something recently and they said um as a beginner you really don't need to share your progress. I think it's Tech Baby that shared that stuff. I don't know. They said you really don't need to share your progress because most of these clients that need your help, when they see on your social media that you just learned this thing like 2 days ago, they believe that you don't really, I don't need to say you don't really know what you're doing or you're just new in the system, so you might not really give them what they want. So for
Okay.
me, I don't know.
Okay.
You can advise me, or
Okay. That's still fine. I get your point totally, right? I get your point totally. So what you can still do is you can share it in such a way that it doesn't look like you're a beginner, right? You could do it that way. You could just share it like, oh, you found out about this, okay? It doesn't sound like you're a beginner, right? But if you say I just learned this, that one sounds like you're a beginner. But you could say, oh, I just did this. Do you understand? Like if you build an app here now, you don't have to tell people that, oh, I just learned how to build this. No, you could just say I built this. These are my challenges and this, that. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, so if you just show, people want to know how you think through apps and building stuff, right? So you don't just say, oh, I learned this thing, that. No, just show them, oh, this is what I just built. and these are my challenges. This is what I thought through, how I started, how I ended, how I resolved the problem. So just show that you are a problem solver, basically, beginner or advanced person. Do you understand?
Thank
Yeah, so that could work. Yeah, so yeah, true. So you're a vibe coder. So just build something and show. Even today, sir, you can decide to build something from all we've said. It's not that difficult. And post it. You get. So what I'm going to do for you guys is I'm also going to show you one of the platforms, right? Maybe you guys can even build something today, okay, and just share as well. So I'll just show you the techniques of. There's a prompt here you will just use, right? So I'm going to make this accessible to you guys. So you just copy the prompt and use it to build something today for yourself and say, oh, I just built this and these are the things I noticed. You can just share it on social media if you want. It doesn't show you're a beginner. Do you understand what I'm saying? It just shows that you are somebody that is taking action. Do you understand? Yeah. So, any other questions? Okay, Precious. Okay, Reginald, question.
Yeah, the question I have is, are we going to work with multiple tools or just one tool?
Yes, I'm going to fly through that right now. I'm going to show you guys the tools and why you might need them, each one. Okay. So
Okay.
yeah, Olushola, question.
Sorry,
Okay.
do you mind?
Yeah.
Do we, since you mentioned we're mostly working with free accounts, do we have to like save up for any budget if we want to go pro later on?
I mean, it's left to you if you want to go pro. There are some reasons why you might want to upgrade, you know. So, but I'm trying to make it easy for everyone. I'll try to find out, show you ways to save credit, to use it for free and stuff like that, and also tell you the essence or the need when you get to the point where you need to upgrade. You know the reason why you're upgrading. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, thank
yeah, so that's good. So Olushola, you have a question.
Yes, thank you very much.
Yeah.
It's all about the tools like the one that I told you before. I use anti-gravity.
Yes.
So I want to ask whether you are going to teach us how to set up a free, in that anti-gravity there are free AI agents that we can use.
Okay.
So are you going to teach us, or like also Cursor? There is Cursor also that we
Yeah.
can use.
Yeah. So
How do we set up the free one that we'll be able to use it free anyhow? If in fact, if you want to build a very complex app that you can still use it, not the one that after you are done with it with the credits, you just say you cannot you can't move on with it. So I want to ask whether that will be taught also. And then my second question is, we are just begging, will you also help us if there is a platform to apply for as a vibe coder in order to get a job or a gig?
okay. So let me start with the last question. When it comes to applying for jobs as vibe coder, you don't really need to. Okay, so there's some people that specify vibe coding, right? Okay, but what you have to understand is you just need to understand the detailing of what you are doing as a vibe coder. You can still get any other job, just like a front end or a back end. Do you understand? So, but the only thing you do is you can just clarify that you literally understand exactly what you are doing. Okay, you can be able to vibe code only front end or back end, but you have to understand the detailing of what you are doing, that you have control. This control you were asking about that time. So you have to know exactly that, oh, I have the control of what I'm doing. You understand? So, but when it comes to applying as a vibe coder, there are definitely some companies, startups that might specifically want vibe coders as well. But everybody is now becoming a vibe coder. What I would advise you do is add extra skill stack on your vibe coding, like research, product clarity. So everybody can do vibe coding now. I'm very, very serious. It's just to open the app and type. You understand? So what I'm even here to do is help you to not just be a vibe coder, ordinary vibe coder. Because not everybody uses a PRD to vibe code. But me, I do. Because I know what it does. You understand? So that's one thing you have to understand. So you have to understand every other aspects that are not vibe coding. So that when you bring that in, it's more robust as an individual. So than just saying you're a vibe coder. If you say you're a vibe coder, there are 50 other people that say that they are also vibe coder. Do you understand? But when you say a vibe coder and you can do proper research or instruct AI to do research, do competitive analysis, do validation, do all those things, it gives you much more edge than what every other person is doing out there. Now, what other question you asked? Did you ask?
About the tools to use, like Cursor, anti-gravity.
Okay, so what I'm going to do, yes, what I'm going to do about the agent stuff. Okay, so about the agent stuff, connecting agents, that one is beyond the scope, though. You understand? But what I'm going to do is, since your target is how to leverage credit, save credits, and stuff, I'm going to tell you my own technique on how I do it, right? So that anti-gravity is more like gonna be your final, like a tool you use to finish up. Okay. Then if you want to now upgrade, you can upgrade and do one other thing, or just round up what you are doing. Do you understand? So, but my target here is so there are so many tools that are out there, and I'm going to tell you the ones that are very good, but they are all paid. They will not even allow you to vibe code at all. You vibe code small, they've already eaten up the credits. Do you understand? Even this Replit someone mentioned now is one of them. Do you get? So you just be spending money. So that means you have to use big budget to do all those ones. But I will help you guys find ways to save credit, save your money, and So even if you want to pay for those ones, let me even mention them. Replit is paid, so it will eat up your credit before you can do anything. Claude Code is also paid, and Claude Code is the best out there. So if you have money to upgrade, Claude Code will literally do everything for you. But they don't even do trials. You will just pay from the beginning of Claude Code. Then for Cursor would allow you vibe code a little, very little, before they tell you to pay. So you're not going to enjoy that. So anti-gravity is the answer to Cursor. They will allow you to do a whole lot, but then the credit will still exhaust. But after you've done so much, do you understand? So for every tool that is paid, there's a free one, and that's why I'm trying to help you to navigate that. So every paid tool out there, there's always a free one, and there are also sites where you could easily copy prompts from a template, a very nice design, and you can put it in what you are doing, and it will just replicate the same thing and save you credit instead of you prompting over and over again. Like there's one called 21st.dev. Okay, that one is basically you just copy prompts and put, and it would copy the aesthetics of what you are doing. So what's your last question? I think you asked 3 questions, right?
No, it's just 2. About the Cursor and
so for Cursor, if you are going to go for Cursor, then just start counting out your money, because they will collect that money from you. You understand? So that's number 1. So, but there are other free ones that can allow you to actually get creative, do your thing, and you export the code and finish up somewhere else. Okay? So I always advise people to start with Lovable, build MVPs first. Okay, before you move to something like anti-gravity to finish up what you are doing. Okay, another one is AI Studio. AI Studio will allow you to prompt. Then you can still move the code somewhere else, and that's how you can basically save credits. Yeah. So, but we'll still walk through all these things gradually. And is there any other question? Okay. If there's another question, let me just run through what we have left. Then we move on. Okay, someone just joined. Oh. Oh. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to jump to, so this is your personal, so that sheet I mentioned, the one I just showed you, this is where you find it. Okay, so everything is under introduction. The curriculum, the 4-week build, your personal, then your personal sheet is here. Then the tools. So once you come to this tools part, all these links, so I'm going to add a video link to the introduction of all these tools. Okay, all of them. So you can, if you've never used any of them before, you just see a simple introduction on how to get in first, and just have that workspace for you, because I don't want a situation whereby I'm trying to explain something on this tool and maybe someone has not actually used the tool before. So these videos will help you to actually navigate the interface to start with. So when I'm using it, it will not be new to you. That's the essence of these tools, of making these videos. I'm going to add the links later. So the tools I'm going to use, number one, ChatGPT. So what I'm going to do is to add descriptions under them so you know why you're using each one. ChatGPT is one, Gemini is another one. So these two tools can do the same thing, right? It's for brainstorming and back and forth. This is your assistant that helps you brainstorm. So if you pick Gemini, good. If you pick ChatGPT, good. You understand? So one advantage of Gemini is that Gemini is better at generating images because of Nano Banana. We all know Nano Banana, right? How many of us know Nano Banana here? Yeah, so that's under Gemini, basically. So in case you need pictures and stuff. Now, Notion is for organizing what you do. So all these things I say you generate, your PRD or this, if you don't want to use maybe Google Drive to put them or something, but a way to organize the things you are generating, prompts or anything. I mean, you might not even use it for this whole class, but you would understand how to get into Notion and create and organize one or two things there. So I just put that there in case. It's not a vibe coding tool. And AI Studio is going to help you to start prompting without having to be scared of, is my credit going to finish or something like that. You just keep prompting and get creative. So when your code is almost ready, or you like what you see, you can export the code somewhere else to finish up. So now, some people can launch their product on AI Studio as well, but you have to use their database and you pay for it. So that's the disadvantage. So what if you don't want to use theirs because you are locked into their database, basically? So you need to separate the database from the code. I don't know if you understand. So for security purposes, two of them have to be separate, not in one platform. So AI Studio will allow you to do things for free, vibe code for free. Figma Make is made by Figma, and that is their vibe coding tool. So why I put this here is in case you have designs you've designed on Figma, it's easier to export it to Figma Make and vibe code it to start working. And you can still export the code to anywhere you want and finish up. So that's the advantage because they are together in the same ecosystem. The anti-gravity is the answer to Cursor. Cursor will not allow you to vibe code and finish up unless you pay. Okay? But anti-gravity will allow you to do a whole lot before it starts asking you for upgrade. Now, Lovable is where you can start to build MVPs, like simple MVPs. But to save credits on Lovable, you can still use AI Studio first, then move the code to Lovable and finish up on Lovable. Very easy. So you just prompt a little. Your credits will not be eaten up. Okay, so because they give you 5 credits every day, Lovable gives you 5 credits every day to do what you need to do. So you could just be using it that way. Okay, then GitHub is for version control. So you have where you saved your project, and you can, if you make mistakes, you can go back to the previous one. So those hallucinations that AI would do and start messing things up, that you get tired and you just abandon the project. Once you use GitHub, you can actually control the versions and return back to the original version or something. And another good thing is that Lovable and Anti-Gravity will help you do this automatically. You don't need to do it yourself. But I'll still make a video on how to actually do it yourself. Like, you export the code, then you import it to GitHub yourself. So at least you just know how to do it. Okay? For Anti-Gravity, you just instruct it to do it. Then for Lovable, you connect it to GitHub, then it will ask you should it upload or something like that, then you accept. Then Netlify is for your deployment. Once you are done, you can deploy the code and see what it looks like before you get a link that you can share to people. Do you understand? Then this Netlify drop is like, it's also still under Netlify, but it just pops up and you can easily drag and drop what you have. It's easier, but it's still under the same ecosystem, right? Then you have Namecheap. This is where you buy your domain. Okay. There's also GoDaddy and the rest, but this one makes a whole lot of sense for me. Then other tools that we all mentioned here: Cursor, Replit, Claude Code, Perplexity, Claude, Vercel, Notion. Okay, Notion is already up there. Then GoDaddy, 21st of Dev. There are so many other tools, but I just listed only the ones that really make a whole lot of sense. And if you come to this GitHub, I also explained everything about what I just said. Create a repository, different methods to do it. And you have GitHub vibe coding. So this explains how to vibe code and use GitHub with Lovable and Anti-Gravity, right? And I also have version control. So this explains version control for GitHub. So I only put this here so that you understand. There's also what they call changelog. It's like helping your AI to remember what it's doing, so it doesn't forget. I had serious issues at some points. My own would just keep messing up what I'm doing till I learned that if you create a changelog file, and always tell AI to, each time you want to start, you want to continue your vibe coding, you tell the AI to go back to the changelog file and remember what it did. Then it will review it and continue without forgetting. So that's what that does. And getting started. So this is what I wanted to show you guys. In this getting started, you have 30 prompts starter pack. So these are different prompts you can use to execute specific things: thinking clearly, project setup, debugging, UI UX, finishing and shipping, then core. So the core patterns of vibe coding, role. So I would like you guys to go through this actually. So you can add it to what you learned. Just write what you learned, and maybe you can explain it to me in the next session we have. But just go through it. This is role. Who am I talking to? So when you tell AI to act as a senior software developer, act as a program startup CEO, and do this, all depends on what you are building. This is a goal pattern, context pattern, constraint pattern, output pattern, then before versus after. So once you want to check out what a prompt looks like before and after. So some people can say create a login page, but this is why you can type to be very precise. Act as a senior front-end developer, build a login page for web app. Goal, simple and secure. Vibe, clean, modern, minimal. Constraint, HTML plus CSS. Output, full code with comments. Debugging. So you can also go through this, and it's all for you guys, all these prompts for free. Then you also have so the overview explains what is vibe coding. Vibe coding, you are not writing every line of code yourself. You describe what you want, the feeling, the behavior, the outcome, and AI helps generate or refine the code. Think, I want a clean dashboard that feels calm, fast, and modern. Dark mode, charts, update live. That's vibe coding. And what is prompt engineering? Because vibe coding is basically prompt engineering. Prompt engineering is talking to the system to do the things you want it to do the way you want it. So prompt engineering is simply the skill of telling AI exactly what you want in a way it understands best. That's no magic. You are not engineering. You are not engineering prompts. You are engineering instructions. Why prompts matter? Imagine you are talking to a very smart intern. Bad instruction is build an app. Better, build a React app with a login page, a dark theme, a dashboard showing user stats. Even better, act as a senior front-end developer, engineer, build a React app using Tailwind, dark mode by default, login page first, then dashboard. So these are just the ways. And even you can even tell ChatGPT to refine your prompt. Let's say you paste this first one, build an app in ChatGPT. Tell it to give you a better prompt. The ChatGPT might now give you something like this. You might even decide to rewrite it. But my job is to even tell you how to write it yourself. So you can decide to write it yourself, or you can tell ChatGPT to refine the prompt and give you something better. So this is something you guys will just go through, read it. If you don't understand anything, feel free to drop a comment in the group and ask questions as well. A simple vibe coding prompt template. This is your template. You can easily always use this whenever you are vibe coding, okay, to start. Okay, then if you now support it with your PRD, then your apps will be better off. So let's see what else. There's something else here. So for the techniques and prompts, I'll add some other things there for you later. So this is all for this session. I don't know if you have any questions. I'm going to show you guys some of these tools that we talked about, then we'll round up with that. Do we have any questions? Yeah, Daniel.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Are you going to share the document with us?
Yes, I'll share the two documents, all the documents I mentioned.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, because you need to duplicate the one for the personal tracker, and that's for you to just track what you are doing. So I like when people, if you track what you are doing, at the end of the 4 weeks, you look back at it and say, yes, you did all this, basically, like keeping a diary, sort of, you understand? Then the other one is your document as well, for you to read. So I created that document so it's easier for you guys to learn faster. I could easily paste something there and say, go and check it out and go through. So whenever we come live, I'm literally just showing you stuff. So we don't have to talk about theory, you understand? So is there any other questions? Okay, if there's no other question, I'm going to jump in. I'm going to just fly through all the apps that we have so far that we're going to be using. So we all know ChatGPT. So I don't know. Should I still show this one? Let me just move to the next one. So Gemini. So this is Gemini. So this is Gemini. So you can use it for brainstorming your ideas, what you want to build and all. And this is Notion. Notion is for organizing. Has anyone here used Notion at all? Anyone? Nobody has used Notion. Okay. So this is AI Studio. So when you get to AI Studio, normally you click on, so they will first show you this one, this part. So
Excuse me, sir. I'm not seeing the screen again. Oh.
wait, oh, you can't see my screen now.
From my own side, I can't see it. Oh. I don't know whether it's
Can
general.
can you guys see my screen? Every other person. Uche, you can see my
I see your
screen.
screen.
Wait, oh, so can you guys see AI Studio now? Okay, you can. Okay, Olushola, what you do is, can you drop and come back and see if you can see my screen?
Okay, let
Yeah,
me do that.
let me wait for you. Okay, so this is he gonna join now? This is AI Studio. So Google will first bring you to this part when you log in, but you have to click on this build here to come to this interface. This is exactly where you can build stuff. So let me show you guys one tool I built with AI Studio. Give me a minute, I have to switch. So while this is loading, okay. Okay, so this is a very simple tool I built here. And I didn't build it to launch it or anything. It's just for me to get news and stuff like that, to scan the internet for stuff. So it's still loading. Yeah, okay, this guy is back. So this is what we have. It's still loading. Okay, so while this is loading, let me show you the other tools as we go on. Let's just see how to save time. So this is Figma Make, and this is Anti-Gravity. This is Lovable. And this is GitHub. This is Netlify. Let's just look at Netlify drop. So this Figma Make. So, but this is not the main interface, right? But this is just like their landing page. So it's all about prototyping your designs, or prototyping from prompts, making it functional, basically. And this is Anti-Gravity. Anti-Gravity is a landing page, what it looks like. Experience liftoff with next generation ID. So and this is Lovable. So this is Lovable. They have a better interface and they have some cool functionalities now. So an alternative to Lovable is Bolt. In case you guys like Bolt, but I'm not teaching Bolt because I might still eventually show you guys Bolt, but then it's just similar with Lovable. They do the same thing. Then this is GitHub. Okay, while this is working, this is Netlify Drop. So Netlify Drop, they created this particular interface so that you can easily just drag your code and drop it here. That's all. You can click on browse and browse for the code, the folder, and upload it. So if you remove the drop, you see their main website where you can log in. Okay, so I'm not logged in, so that's Netlify for you. This is GitHub. GitHub is where developers, they use it for version control and collaboration. So even as a vibe coder, I can see it's because you're dealing with code. So, and this is what I built. I wanted to show you guys. So I call it Content Grid. I use it to scan for news. I'm going to show you guys what happens when I scan. Okay, this guy is back, right? Okay, Lushola is back. Okay, good. Can you see my screen now? Lushola. Okay, I'm assuming he can. So this is, I call it a content grid. It stands for tech, AI, startups, business, fintech, design, product design, health, energy, entertainment, politics. These are the things I'm interested in. I can add an extra one and it will still scan for it, right? So let's just say I pick AI and I click synchronize. So it's going to generate all the popular news feeds and put them in cards. Okay. So you can see these are current news right now, and you can download this card and just, share it if you want. So but I wanted to see, I don't like reading news, like reading text. So if I can see them in cards, just the latest news, I just thought about the ideas. Let me just do it and using it like that. So this is a current news. OpenAI launches operator for autonomous and so on and so forth. Same way if you do for design, you still get something. It will scan the internet and bring you the latest news. So it takes a little while. So this is it. This is based on design. So 3D printed solutions, lead for design, Wesleyan campus winner, brands embrace imperfect by design. So it's just news, right? So I like checking the news, but I do not want to always go to all these categories to go and be looking for news. So this is an easy way for me to just scan through all kinds of news categories as fast as possible. And I also added something I call Create Studio, where I can decide to create a card like this and create something for myself. Like I want to share something and create it in this card form so you have smart import. I can import a link here and it will drag all the news from the link and import it into this card. Okay, then I can add main headline, hook summary. I'll change the colors here. I can change the colors as well as I want. As you can see, this top color is changing and so on. Okay. I mean, this idea is just something I thought about, and I felt, oh, let me just see if I can even put it up. You understand? It's actually working. This is just AI Studio I use, nothing else. You can upload a cover and so on and so forth. So these are a sample of things. You can see how structured it is. It doesn't look like AI generated purple looking app and everything. So that's just that. So I think we'll come to the end of this one. I don't know if there's any questions you can ask. And the Telegram chat is also open in case you have questions to drop there as well. So you can also ask those questions there. Yeah. Udochukwu. You can go ahead.
Okay. Okay, good evening.
Yeah.
Justin.
Yeah.
So, concerning using Lovable, you said Lovable is like an alternative to both. Because me personally, I've used both before.
Yeah.
But I want to ask, does Lovable enable you to add database when you are building? Because
Yes.
I mean, then generally, okay.
Okay, so both uses Supabase, right?
Yes. Yes,
So
we do.
good. Because I started using Bold before Lovable, and I was using Bold because of their database, that Supabase they were using. But Lovable now came in later, and they were getting much more popular, right? And they didn't have Supabase then, they didn't have database then, and that was a big problem for me. So I left them until they now decided to add Supabase. But apart from Supabase, Lovable has their own database that you can still use. Like if you don't want to use Supabase in Lovable, that is an option. It's still there, but they have their own personal database if you want to use their own as well. Okay, but the problem with that is when you need to move your code and your database, you might find it difficult to move it if you use the internal database. But it's still possible. But how you do it is that you have to email them to help you move the database or send you the database somehow. They will do it for you as well if you're using internal database in Lovable. Yeah, your question.
Okay, thank you. Okay, can you use Lovable to build like a blockchain application, like a Web3 application too, not just normal web application? And it also give you like the database for it.
That means you might need I think so. Actually, I think it's all about your creativity, right? But it all depends on what you are building, because anything that has to do with security and if it has to do with security, finance, and everything, I would not advise you to. I would advise you vibe code part of it, not complete. Okay, so I don't know what product you are building on the blockchain, but if it has to do with finance, legal stuff, unless you are actually a full stack developer that knows how to vibe code, so that you can be able to understand all the code that AI is writing, okay? You have complete control. So it is how, just to help you to avoid certain issues that you might not want, okay? So saying Lovable, I'm sure Lovable can build a blockchain app, but it all depends on how you want to stretch it, okay? So it means you might have to use external plugins, APIs, all those kind of things, right? MCP server and the rest of them. So, but talking about scaling, I think Lovable is a tool that is still growing, okay? I don't know if it will be able to handle, maybe it might be able to handle it for the first period of time, but if you are talking about scaling, you need a larger framework to help you execute a blockchain app. You understand? So unless Lovable tomorrow they actually put those things in place that helps you to do these things. You understand? So why I'm answering you this way is because I've not really checked if they can execute a blockchain app, but I'm pretty sure about every other kind of app that does not really need you to go too complex like that. You understand? So my advice for you would be you can build the basic int- um, processes of the blockchain, how it works and everything on Lovable to just show and everything, present and all basic functionalities. But when you're trying to go in depth, you get anti-gravity, cursor, cloud code. I think Replit can actually do that too, or Codex by ChatGPT. I think that's for engineers too. So that's how you that's if you when you start thinking about scaling. Okay. So for me, I always use Lovable for very simple apps that can do the bare minimum. Okay, not too complex. So it doesn't. I don't know. It's just that I feel I don't want to take very very complex products and put them on Lovable. You understand? But the basic functionalities can work. E-commerce store that does simple things. I don't even know if a multi-section e-commerce store, the ones that have like 3 layers, will be able to be executed on Lovable until I check. Because last time I checked last year, there's something they were still not able to do. You understand? But I see that they still added some new features this year. So it's for me to go back and check and see because they're still growing and they collect feedback from their customers and they try to implement them as well. So I don't know if in any way I've been able to answer the questions you have.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I answered the question.
Okay. So, is there any other question, Reginald?
Yeah, my question is, Lovable is useful for MVP products, right?
Yes, I personally use it for MVP products and simple products that maybe I need people to use, maybe not too complex, right? But I mean, a lot of people use it to build full, complete, solid products. You understand? So it all depends on your own tolerance with it, right? You can still use
Okay.
it to, yeah.
So which would you recommend if you're building something complex? Which of the vibe coding apps would you use if you're building something complex?
Okay,
Not
so
something that has to do with financial records or something, but
yeah,
just a bit complex.
yeah. So once you are doing financial record, legal stuff, see, just have a developer with you too, please. That's my own best advice. Developer will help you save you a lot of stress. You understand? A developer that can vibe code, not just any developer. Do you understand? Get a developer that can vibe code. See, I always say that when you have experience at something, you'll be a better vibe coder. So no matter the kind of vibe coder you are now, if they still compare you with a developer that can vibe code, that developer will still be better because he understands this code. Now he's going to instruct AI faster. Do you get? Because he has the experience. But these two people are better than a developer that cannot vibe code at all. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. So, your question is, what will I use? Okay, so it all depends on your goal and what your target is on a long term, right? If you are thinking of building something complex, you don't go building it complex immediately. You build a simple one. If you have 10 features to add to that app, build 3 features completely working fine. Okay, you can do those things on Lovable boards, simple, and you can even put payment on it and it will be working. Okay, so once you now start thinking of building a bigger team, scaling, then you can now think about using a different app like Cursor, Anti-Gravity, and the rest of them. Okay, some people can actually start using Anti-Gravity immediately, maybe because that's what they learned with. So it still boils back down to what tool did you actually start vibe coding with that you are familiar with. You understand? I don't know if that answered the question.
Yes, it did. Thank you.
Okay. Olushola.
Yes, thank you very much. I learned that on Lovable, you can only use Lovable to build an app with any app you want to build with maybe JavaScript or TypeScript. There was a time I wanted to use Python. It doesn't allow me. So I think it's only maybe JavaScript or TypeScript.
Yeah. So that's why I said maybe MVP kind of simple products that you can put checkout and add payment, Stripe, and everything. All those kind of
Not,
things. Yeah, and
uh,
the basic process of building is once you prompt the front end, okay, you prompt the back end, you connect it, then you do your landing page, okay, or you make it a wait list. You can even make a wait list first so that people can be signing up and testing and signing up and waiting for you. So front end, Vibe code back end, connect it, Supabase, Firebase, whichever one you want. Then you add authentication. Then you upload to GitHub for version control, so you can save it there in case you want to add somebody else to join you. So authentication, you've done that. The next thing is payment. If you want to collect payments or you don't want to collect payment, it all depends on you what your goal is. So, and sometimes you want to collect payment because maybe the people you want to go and pitch to, they want to see that people are already using your app and they are paying for it. While some might just want to see that people are signing up and using it for free. Okay? But if your goal is that, you want to meet a VC that this VC is, they are also looking out for if people are started paying for your app. It means that you have to build a valuable app that people can actually pay for. An app that is solving a problem for the people, for those people that you are targeting, so they can be able to pay for it, no matter how small. So that way, when you are able to do that, then you basically have your domain set up, domain name. Okay, what else do you need? Then you iterate. See, testing is very important because so that your app will not go and break once you have just 200 people inside. So now maybe something will now wipe off all your sign-ups because of one mistake. So, and there are prompts you can use to audit over and over again for security issues. Don't leave your APIs in the front end, move it to the back end. Passwords front end, because if all these white hat hackers they touch your app like this, you will not see it again. So that's why you also have to learn security as well with prompts. And it's all about asking the AI to prompting it to do the right thing. AI can still fix those problems, those loopholes, through auditing. Okay? So, and testing again is how you find out problems. So if you launch now, share it to everybody you know. Say, "Okay, test this thing for me. You test it for me. What is the challenge? You test. You collect feedback." And the essence of your wait list normally is to know if your app is even relevant. Because if you did a survey while you are building and 100 people signed up, and on your wait list only 20 people are there, then that means there's a problem. What is the problem? People are not signing up. That means they don't like what you are building. They're not following you up. So you have to fix that issue. At least you should get like 90 or 80 to show that something you are building is important. Okay? So I don't know. That's basically what I think. Any other questions? So every other person that has not spoken, you have to tell me what you think about this session. Uche, Florence, Sekinat, are you guys here?
Hello, good evening. Good evening, everyone.
Yeah, good evening. What do you think about the session? Do you have any questions?
Well, I'm still new to vibe coding, so some things are still confusing, but I'll go through the video again.
Okay.
And the session was also very great.
Okay, that's fine. That's good. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we're about to round up. So we all see in Telegram. Any questions, you can drop it there. Okay, and I'm also going to share these links I said I was going to share to you guys. So every resource I have will be in that document, so everybody have access to it. Okay. Yeah. So if there are no other questions, we'll be ending the session now. And we actually have a poll in the Telegram group to know what the best time is for everyone to join. Okay? Yeah, so take care, everyone. Have a splendid evening. Yeah.